Are you suggesting, or was I hearing you correctly, that the pesticides and the damages that they cause would have the same immunity as the vaccines? Is that what you meant?
Yes, exactly. You
Oh
could
my
not
God.
sue them for pesticide damage. And we
Oh,
all know that they're causing extensive damage, not only to humans, but to animals and insects. So it's going to be, if we don't stop it and we don't stop it soon, the soil is going to be destroyed and people, there will be mass starvation. I know that sounds a little apocalyptic, but but it'll happen in 20 or 30 years if we continue down this road. We've got to stop the application, the liberal application of all these pesticides. And actually, we shouldn't even be calling them pesticides. They're insecticides. They don't discriminate between the good insects and the bad insects. So there's no
hmm.
such thing as a pesticide. They're all insecticides, and we need to start calling them that.
Wow. What can people do to get involved in this fight? And God knows I'll get sued if I don't say this correctly. I don't mean a physical fight, everyone. I'm not calling for violence, because someone will take that out there. If our podcast ever gets big enough, they'll do that. Fight with our dollars. I love that you said voting with your dollars. I say that all the time. And you could fight with information too, by letting people know what's going on. Like that, what you just said about the immunity around the pesticides, that should not even be a partisan issue. I can guarantee if I did an apolitical survey and surveyed 1,000 random people, 950 plus are going to agree that pesticides or insecticides should not be able to be blatantly used. And then if there's any damages caused, oh, you can't sue them. Most of us agree with that. And they're sneaking under the rug and getting this stuff done. So how can we fight this? Can we support the NHF to fight this? That's probably a good way. Is there anything else that we can do in our local communities? Because that's insane that that just passed in Georgia to me. I can't even comprehend that.
It, it absolutely is. And yes, support the NHF. We have a campaign against it. We have a lobbyist who's quite good, Charles Froman, on the East Coast. And he did. There's also another gentleman named Howard Vlieger, Vlieger, who's at Soil, student of the soil, all one word. I think .org, it could be .com, but he's also fighting it and gives excellent speeches before the legislatures who are considering these bills. And he's probably the main guy who defeated it in Iowa. Because he lives in Iowa, he's right there, so it's easy for him to go to the state capitol and fight this. But we're fighting it on in every state that we can, and it keeps popping up. It's like that guacamole game at the shopping malls where you'd whack the mole on the head, but then it'd pop up out of another random hole. So that's what's going on here. And they have the industry, the big ag industry has a good game plan. They aren't doing it on a national level because they know they wouldn't win. So they're doing it piecemeal, state by state, excuse me,
Mhm.
piece by piece and state by state. And they're going to win unless we stop them. So we've got to get in there and stop them from this madness. And we need to win. So help us. We don't have the resources to do everything. So we need donations. You can join us at the NHF, THENHF.com. You can make a donation, sign up on our email list. We have a monthly brainstorming Zoom session that you might enjoy. We had one a couple of months ago and we discussed this. In fact, I think we had Howard Vlieger on, if I'm not mistaken. He discussed it. And at our Dallas conference that Reed Davis was at and FDN had a booth at, just in the middle of March, Howard spoke out there and gave a fascinating, riveting actually, speech on the whole subject and what could be done. So I highly encourage people out there listening to this, including you, Kasha. I see how to pronounce it now.
I
Um,
wouldn't have guessed.
yeah, please join us.
Awesome. And guys, I don't know how to say this. I'm not trying to make myself sound cool or anything. I left them a nice donation last time because I believe in what they're doing. So I
You
encourage you,
did.
if you believe in what something, if you don't believe in what they're doing, fine, don't donate. That's fine. But if you do believe in what's happening here and you'd like an organization that you can actually trust that stays smaller, that's not going to have a psychopath running it, we have the wonderful Scott here, then you got to fight with your dollars. If you're not going to go out there and share this information yourself or write letters or do this stuff, that's okay. I say this in quotes for those that are listening on the audio afterwards, but the very least, you gotta put something to support this. Otherwise, look at what they're getting away with. Like, when I hear that, I'm like, what occurs that this state of Georgia actually just allowed this? And not obviously, you can tell by the way I'm expressing myself, I do not agree with this immunity in any sense. I think it's insane. But Scott, I have to ask, because you're clearly more well versed with this than myself, what is even the argument for it? Like, of course, they're not going into the Georgia people and saying, oh, we're getting this immunity because we know that it's killing you guys and hurting you, and we don't want to get sued. They're not saying that. So, what is this even under the guise of? What are they saying this is for?
They're just saying what, again, taking a page out of the playbook for the vaccine industry, they're just saying that in order to stay in business, because look at all the lawsuits, the glyphosate go. They're saying people will starve if we don't poison them first with our and kill off the insects and the bees and all of that. Saying people will starve. They're arguing a short-term solution for a long-term problem, and it's not going to work. Even if they succeed and they use all the Roundup and all the other insecticides in the world that they have, they will end up killing the planet because the soil will be dead, the insects who pollinate will be gone, and humans will have nothing to eat but poison soil is poison beyond belief. Whenever I travel to the US, I take my health in my hands, I at least think, because whether you're drinking the water, whether you're eating the food, you don't know what's in there half the time, most of the time. And you're getting all these residues